Mountain West Championship comes your way on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You got Boise State, the Broncos led by Ashton Jeanty going up against UNLV. We saw this matchup a few weeks ago in Las Vegas, and we're excited to see it once again coming up on Friday. And let's welcome in the head coach of the Boise State Broncos, and that, of course, is Coach Spencer Danielson. Coach, first off, congratulations. I know you got a fun one coming up on Friday, but appreciate you carving out some time for us today. How you been?
Zach, appreciate it, man. No, I'm fired up. I mean, since January to now, our guys have just been earning the right to keep playing their best, man. And big-time championship game Friday night against a really good opponent. I mean, what more do you want? So thank you, Jesus, for another day of life, for an opportunity to be here. Fired up.
Well, we'll get to the game in just a bit. Let me start you off with last week first. I was watching that game up against Oregon State. I tweeted out right before it, I want to see how Boise State was going to start. Haven't loved the last two games the way that you guys have started the game. And geez, Coach, you guys got off to a perfect start in that one. How about the start to that one over the weekend?
Yeah, proud of our guys, man. They came out swinging right away. Whenever you can get up 2 scores in a game, I mean, that really shows your practice all the way to the games working. We have not started great the past couple weeks, and we've had to dig ourselves kind of out of those holes. So proud of our guys coming out the gate swinging.
Yeah, and how about your quarterback? I know everyone wants to talk about Ashton Jeanty, right? I'm running out of adjectives to describe him with each and every performance. But Maddox Jeter-Madsen has really come a long way this year. How about the corner that you feel like your quarterback has really started to turn?
Yeah, Maddox is playing at a high level. I mean, obviously Ashton Jeanty, best football player in the country, is going to get a lot of attention from media and defenses. But, I mean, Maddox Madsen is playing big-time football. I mean, his touchdown-interception ratio is one of the best in the country for years. I mean, he's smart with the football. He makes big-time throws, big-time plays. And honestly, Zach, he's unflinching. I mean, he never flinches in the big-time moments. Even if a series doesn't go the way we want it to, he's the guy that'll bring the offense back up. Let's focus on our execution. And he just goes out and executes at a high level. And
also, it feels like your team, I know everyone has an ego, right? But sometimes egos can really derail a football team. It just seems as if everyone off your team just feeds off one another, and they're very genuinely happy. Even if Ashton Wright does a lot of work, then Madsen tucks the ball and runs into the end zone. It just seems as if this is a very good culture that you guys have right now going in Boise.
Yeah, these guys love each other, Zach, and this is a player-led team. And I tell people that. Like, I give Jesus the glory, and I talk about our players because that's really what's happening here. We got a phenomenal staff that sets the standard for our guys, and they go lead it. Ashton Jeanty, when we talk, it's not about how many carries am I going to get, what are my yards. It's about the team. How can I help this guy be his best this weekend? How can I help, at practice? What are some things you saw? No different from Maddox Madsen, Ahmed Hassain, and I could be here for 10 minutes talking about these guys. They lead it. They led it in January on the blue when it was snowing. And they lead it now in December when we got the right to go play our best to win another championship. So I give those players so much credit. They deserve it.
I know you took over as Coach Spencer Danielson is here with us right now. The Boise State Broncos are looking to make the playoff if they get a victory coming up on Friday night in the Mountain West Championship game on the blue turf. I know you took over last year. You had a lot of success. Then it's different when you become the head honcho for the entire season. When you just look at this journey this year and you take me back to the offseason, you knew you had some really good players on this team. There were questions on who your quarterback was going to be, what the defense was going to look like. What type of team did you think you had before the season started?
Yeah, I knew we had a good team, Zach. I think everybody in the offseason probably assumes that. And I was joking with media over the summertime. I don't think any head coach goes into preseason media and talks about how bad they're going to be, right? But I knew we were going to have a really good team. I mean, we had a bunch of returning starters. And even in, there's so much attrition in college football from guys leaving, going the portal. And our guys didn't. Our guys stuck together. When an Ashton Jeanty puts his foot down and says, I'm staying here. I want to build a legacy. I want to do something different. I think everybody else falls in line. When Ahmed Hassain does that, just to say too, your team is locked in and they love each other. I mean, they've been doing this since January when no one was around, in the dark, putting the work in. Because in life, everything's earned. And these guys have done that since January and has not been perfect. We got to learn and grow every single week. We have to play our best football on Friday to be successful. But I'm proud of these young men, man. I love them dearly. And we talk about here a lot, like love is action, love is sacrifice. It's not, this is rainbows and butterflies every day. When I talk about love, like it's hard. It says in the Bible, greater love is no one than this, than to lay down his life for his friend. Like we're talking about a true emotion. So when I say this team loves each other, they've done that through the hard times, the grind, the changing head coaches. These guys have been through a lot, and I'm proud of them.
And, hey, you look at the system now. When it was a 14 playoff, Coach Spencer Danielson, we know only one non-Power 5 school ever made it. That was Cincinnati. I know UCF had a lot of success, but they didn't make the playoff. And then now with this new format, what happened really with the Pac-12, a school like yours, right, which is one of those big non-power now 4 schools, had an opportunity to make the playoffs. Were you guys thinking playoff in the offseason? I know it's always one game at a time, and like you said, everyone thinks you got a good team before the season started, but did that feel as if it was a tangible goal before the season started?
Yeah, Zach, you're 100% right. I mean, it's always one game at a time, one moment at a time. No different in the offseason. We're not talking about winning a game. We're talking about having our best Tuesday in February, right? Like, that's my focus. I believe in process, but it's something that as a competitor, all you want is a chance. And now with the 12-team playoff, you're giving the entire country, Boise State included, an opportunity to go play for a national championship and make it to the playoff. As a competitor, that's all you want. If you don't make it, that's on you to find ways to continue to learn and grow and improve. But as a competitor, all you want is an opportunity. And there was, for years here, there was undefeated seasons that, yes, turned into be big-time bowl wins, but never an opportunity to play for a national championship, play in a playoff game. Now that opportunity is there. Now we got to go earn the right to play our best and get there.
I hate moral victories, but I have to ask this. You guys probably should have won the Oregon game, but with how good they are and how you guys were in control of that game for a while and then you lost it at the end, did that really just kind of unlock a different level of confidence with this group earlier in the year?
Yeah, it did, Zach, and I agree with you. I mean, there's no such thing as moral victories. If we lost by 60 or lost by a late, last-second field goal, it's still a loss, and it was frustrating for our staff. It's very frustrating for our players because this team, I mean, we prepped and we believed we were going to go win that game. We didn't make the plays we needed to consistently to win it. We had every opportunity to. And I knew after that game, like it was gonna go one of two ways. It was gonna galvanize this team even more. And yes, just like anything, there's probably some doubters in our building thinking like, can we really go beat an Oregon? And I think after that game, they're like, man, we can go beat anybody. But there's also a reality that we can lose to anybody too.
Sure.
That's college football. That's what's beautiful about this game. But I think that was a confidence builder. As much as a loss, a punch in the mouth hurts, we learned a lot from that game. And we believe we can go beat anybody. But the reality is we could lose to anyone at any time too. We got to earn the right in our prep to go play our best. So it was a galvanizing time for our team.
I know it's what you guys do, your competitors, but how difficult is that? Because it seems as if you guys have been playing a playoff game almost each and every game this season after the Oregon one.
Yeah, it is, Zach. I mean, we went into no different game one against Georgia Southern. I mean, with the way the playoffs set up is every game is a playoff game. And you can't drop one. If you drop one, you definitely can't drop two and make it to the playoff. That's just the reality of what it is. So, I mean, I was telling our team this week, guys, we've been playing playoff football since September. 1 week at a time. Why is the most important game? Because it's the next one. And we've been in that mentality, just chipping away, kept swinging, finding ways to win games. Yeah, it's not pretty, and some people might not like that we won a game by a touchdown or won a game by 21. We should have won by 30. I'm proud of these guys finding ways to win. We got to keep learning and growing, and we have to play our best this week. But I'm proud of our guys because we've been in playoff mentality since September.
Spencer Danielson here with us, Boise State in their conference championship game up against UNLV on Friday night. So early in the season, a lot of people acknowledge how special Ashton Jeanty was. Then they acknowledge how special your team was. You guys eventually get projected to make the bracket as a 12 seed. Then you get the last few weeks moving up into a bye spot. With all that talk recently about Jeanty winning the Heisman, going to the playoff, the fact that you guys are 1 win and you're in, and Jeanty could win the Heisman with the great performance coming up this weekend. The fact that is 1 game left until we find out about those things becoming a potential reality, just the build up to now, how do you even just navigate this week with all those emotions after it's been talked about for a while?
Yeah, it's a battle, and it's exciting, but it is something you have to fight because there's the most hyped team is not the one that's going to win. The team that goes in and executes for 4 quarters is going to win, especially when you're playing a really good football team like we are. So, yes, there's a lot of emotion in this game, Zach. Win and you're in the win and you're in the playoff. The Heisman, all the individual stuff going on. Like that's the battle I have as a head coach to keep our focus on what matters. Right now, we just had our Tuesday practice. Like, we did a really good job. We got to earn the right to have a really good Wednesday practice coming up, like, so that our guys can go cut it loose on Friday. And that's what I want our guys to do. We're turning the heat up on them. You should. Every single week, you got to get better. Every single week, you got to play your best. And we need to play our best football all season. We should, because we've grown week to week. You watch UNLV, they've been playing their best football, and they've gotten better every week. So it's going to be a great matchup on the blue Friday night with everything on this, with everything at hand, with everything at stake. That's awesome. That's why you love college football, and I want our guys to play without fear, attack success, and go cut it loose.
How much different do you think your team is and their team is from this matchup that we saw in October to now? I know it's a big advantage being at home. You still got to take care of business, but how about the differences in both these teams?
Yeah, I think you see both of them getting better week to week. I mean, after, that was a heavyweight fight. We knew that going down there to Vegas, that it was going to be a heavyweight fight, and it came down to all the way to the last seconds. We knew it was going to be that. And I think since then, you see UNLV, they've been dominant in every single game they've played. We've found a way to win every single game. We've been dominant in a couple, but there's been a lot of games that we've had to fight our tail off to win the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, this is a whole new game Friday. Yes, we've played each other before. Yes, our records are what they are. Yes, there's maybe margin of victory where it is. This is a whole new game. And that's what I told our team, guys, it's a whole new game. They're a new team than when we played them before. We're a new team. Put the ball down. Let's go to work.
That fan base is awesome, your fan base. When we had Ashton on, I had a listener, Jake, send me an Ashton Jeanty Heisman sweatshirt. The passion is just unbelievable. I know our network's had a good relationship with one of our affiliates, KTIK. They used to send Damon Amendola back there a few years ago with Sean Marash. And, I can't wait to maybe go check out the Blue Turf in person myself. But can you even describe what you think that atmosphere is going to be like coming up on Friday?
Yeah, Zach, it's going to be electric. Bronco Nation is second to none. And I relate it to this. I think there's a lot of fan bases that are at the game. Bronco Nation is in the game with you. That's who they are. They are all about it, not only in season, out of season. This place will be sold out. It'll be a phenomenal atmosphere on the blue, and we're going to need every bit of it.
On the way out was Spencer Danielson, the head coach of the Boise State Broncos. So I think the Heisman right now is a two-man race. It's either going to be Ashton Jeanty winning it or Travis Hunter. Make the case why you think Ashton should win the award over Travis.
Yeah, our focus is on this game right now, Zach. But Ashton Jeanty is the best football player in the country. And I tell people, watch the film. Watch the film. And what he's been able to do to lead our team to play in a championship game, I think that's what you're looking. When you're giving the Heisman Award out, it is to the best football player. And the best football players not only have the stats, but also make their team better around him. And that's what Ashton Jeanty has done with our entire program.
I'll tell you, I put out a tweet from the game on Friday. I was working out. I was on the elliptical after eating all that lasagna from Thanksgiving. And I took a screen grab watching your first half of what Fox put up there comparing Ashton Jeanty to Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, and Reggie Bush. Coach, this thing went viral. I can't even log onto my Twitter without still having people comment on this. And 4 million views. It's getting posted all over the place. But I was kind of surprised at how there are still some people that want to discredit Ashton Jeanty. And a lot of the tweets that I were getting were, who did Boise State play? I go, they played Oregon. And the guy put up nearly 200 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns up against the number one team in the nation. Does it just boggle your mind how people still won't give this kid credit when he does everything you guys ask of him and then some?
Yeah, Zach, I think just like anything, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be someone that is going to be negative and think different about someone. That's why I always relate, watch the film. Watch who we've played. And every week we play good opponents. We've played Oregon. We've played these teams. And he has been consistent week in and week out. Look at the film. Look at the stats. Hasn't missed a game. 35 carries each week. Beat up, banged up. Finding a way, and not only found a way to get his stats, found a way for our team to continue to win games and put us in the situation we are. That's why I tell guys, watch the film. He's the best football player in the country. We're in the championship game because of his leadership and our team galvanizing around him. Watch the film.
Last thing I'll ask you, and I know you said that he's banged up. Watching the games, he makes it look effortlessly. Just the other week, over 200 yards as if it was nothing. How banged up is he, Coach? Because that's a thing that I think gets lost in this conversation with some of the different injuries he suffered this year.
Yeah, Ashton's so tough. He's an absolute warrior. He's got an elite mentality, and it's going to be game 13 for him. The amount of carries, the amount of shots. And every week we go into, there's 11 guys every single snap, eyes on him, trying to get him down and find a way to take him out. That's the reality of every game we're playing in. Friday is going to be no different. And for him to continue to battle, live in the training room, still practicing, still getting better every single week, it's a testament to who that is, who he is, how he's wired, and honestly, how much he loves this team.
Well, Coach, hey, I really appreciate you giving us the time today. Good luck coming up on Friday night, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. God bless, brother.